Hey everyone, Andrew at Microphonic Designs here with another episode of sound design from scratch to patch in Omnisphere. Today we're going to be putting together a fun it's a 16th note based morphing sound. Let me give you a quick demo. Yeah, so we've got a fun 16th note pulse on just some, oscillator layers. We've got some reverb in there that's actually gated. That was a pretty cool effect. Be sure to like and subscribe to the video. As always, that support is sincerely appreciated. But without further ado, let's jump right in. Alright, so tonight I want to do another of what I call the Rhythmorph sounds, which is where we're basically going to program the amp envelope to have some sort of rhythm and motion to it, and then we'll be able to use the mod wheel. The plan is to be able to use the mod wheel to morph the sound as we see fit. So, let's get started, and we're right away going to go into the envelope and start to draw this in. And I've got eighth note pulse, so we might want to start with this. But let's see, maybe we actually do double time. We're gonna want it to loop for sure. I think we may actually not want it to loop. I guess that depends. I'll leave it for now. And the reason being is because usually when I do these types of sounds, they're pretty controlled in terms of like where it's going. So because the MIDI note has an off message, we can probably leave this so that it loops as long as we need it to. And since we're going to use the mod wheel to sort of morph the sound, I think this is a good way to do it, is to have that looped. And so, let's see. So that is, we're working with 116 beats per minute right now, which is fine, because when we change the tempo, again, these those 8th notes or 16th notes will adapt to that tempo. And I'm pretty sure that's what I want anyway. Most of the time when I do one of these, it's an 8th note in the first place. But it's typically at a higher tempo. So we got this. Let's start to develop the sound itself. And I don't think I want saw square bright. Let's see. Nor do I want a sine wave. Let's see what we got. That could work. I definitely want it to be a bit gritty, so let's go in here. Unison never fails. There we go, starting to develop something that, there we go, has a little bit more body to it, yeah. Because what I sort of hear is the bass of this sound is definitely got some low end to it. Let's go in here and see what we can do to make this a little more gritty. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, how are we doing on the meters over here? I hope we're not clipping or anything. Yeah, it looks like we're good so far. Okay. Cool, so we've got a bit of a gritty bass to go off of here. Let's add in this filter, and now we need to go into the filter envelope. And this should be pretty quick. And I bet I want to put 8th note spike, but we need to make this also double time and also loop this. And now but let's see, there's a strange click and I don't really like that. I don't think it's, not sure what that is. It always gets me. I think it may have to do with the amp. You know, I'm never too sure. But there's definitely sort of a weird click in there. Let me see if I can figure this out. I wonder if it's going to involve just changing the envelope shape here to maybe like a curve so that it's like that. Let's try this. Curve 1. Do like this. There we go. Again, the idea is to have it so that the amp and envelope doesn't just shoot straight up. And I'm hoping this will fix the issue that I was hearing there. We shall see. Always an adventure when it comes to this stuff. All right. Yep, and it's gone. So that must have been it. And I like this a lot, this new sound here. Okay, so far so good. So let's zoom back out a little bit. And so we just changed the way that envelope looks. And then first thing we can do right away is modulate the filter cutoff, and then we may mess around with what type of actual filter it is itself. So let's modulate with wheel, and we need to be able to see those parameters. There we go. Still want you guys to be able to see the RTA. I like that. Let's open that up a little bit more. There we go, so that there's just a little bit more of that, those high-end harmonics. And I really want, there we go, so we'll do kind of like this. I really want, and you know what? We're going to go back into the filter envelope, and we're going to pull these down, actually, to maybe 0.6. Let's get rid of that one. Turn this into a spike. There we go. So we're going to pull this down to right about there. Let me get all these done real quick. Okay, so the reason I did this is because I don't want the attack of each like 8th note or 16th note, whatever we have here. I don't want the attack to be fully open with the filter. So I want a little bit more of that muted sort of pluck sound. And this works. There we go. So far so good. Let's go back in to the main view here, and now we can start to also mess around with and I wonder what now will happen if we go back into the oscillator, go to our wave shape, if we modulate these. So let's take note, I've got it at about 0.75, 0.62, so let's modulate with wheel. And we want this to be where this slider is. We want that to be about the top point. So we'll pull this back to right about there. And let's see. Let's see what that does to the sound. I like that, so that as the sound opens up, the bit crush is getting moved up as well. So that's cool, and then we'll also go in and add a reverb to that, of course, because that's what we like to do. So we will go ahead and modulate the auxiliary send from layer A to this. So we'll just mix this in about halfway. We'll make the room size about 3/4. We'll give it about a 2.5 second tail time. Pre-delay, there we go. We'll bump this up just a bit, and let's see. Definitely want the high frequency time up a little bit. We'll pull the low time down a little bit, sort of meet them in the middle. Full width. All right, that should do. So let's go back over here. modulate with wheel. And we'll probably want, let's try it with half here. What if we go all the way? I'm not sure that's exactly the reverb sound I want. Let's play around with this a little bit. Alright, so I backed off the amount just a little bit so that it's not totally maxed out. And you know, I want to bring this down, the low frequency crossover, put that at about 125-ish. Pull this down. And the high frequency crossover we're going to pull down to about 4,000, I think. There we go. And now let's go in and actually look at the filter type. So this is the factory default basic 12 decibel low pass. Let's try this guy. Definitely doesn't open up near as much. Let's see here. What's this sound like? I don't think I want much resonance with this type of thing. I don't want it to sound quite as synthetic. Let's see. Let's keep playing around with these. See if we can find crisp. Okay, this one's in the running. What about juicy? 12 decibel per octave. I like that one. So it's a little different than the basic, but I still like that 12 decibel per octave cutoff so that the slope isn't too steep and that we still get some of those high-end harmonics, which is where a lot of that grit's coming from. Let's see what else we can do here, because this, I don't want it to be just this. So certainly we can think of some more ear candy to add to this here. Now, I wonder if we can do some stuff over here. I wonder if there's a way to, like, gate the reverb almost so that it's only sending sound... like we only hear the reverb when the amp envelope opens up. So let's see, utility, we'll probably need something from the dynamic section, I imagine. Yeah, and let's see, gate expander, this might do it. Threshold, yeah, that's not. So we can't modulate like a bypass on this. How to do this? So I don't know if the gate is going to be the right way to do it. Let's see. Maybe we try compressor. No. The gate was my best guess. So basically what I want is for something to control the reverb tail that only allows audio through when the amp envelope of layer A here opens up. So basically when these open, we hear reverb as well, so that it's gated along with it. So that the individual eighth notes sound big, but that there's not a reverb tail that connects over them, because I want to be able to chop this up and put it into like a sampler of some sort. So let's keep tweaking around with this. There's got to be a way to do it. But like I said, the gate is about the only way I can think to do that. Unless, can we modulate this? So let's do this. Let's turn off the compressor. Let's get rid of the compressor. Let's get rid of that stuff. And let's modulate this with the amp envelope. I wonder if that will do it. All mod sources and amp envelope. And we want it to go from nothing to about halfway. But you know what? So this now presents a problem. So we can't do this. So Like yeah, I can hear that reverb in there, so that's what we want. But whenever we release the note, I want that eighth note gate to still continue. So here's how I think we can do it. So let's check this out. So let's unmodulate that. We're going to go into layer A. We're going to go to mod envelope, and we're going to actually copy this first. Sorry. So we're going to copy envelope preset, come over to mod 1. We're going to paste the envelope preset, and then I want to I wish there was maybe there's a way to do it, to just copy this, but I don't know how. So give me just a second. I'm going to basically draw in a tail to this. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to draw all these in. It's going to take me a minute, but I'll rejoin you once I've got this exactly how I want it. Alright, so finally I got all these drawn in. Goodness gracious, I'm sure there was a faster way to do that, but that's okay. So the idea now is to, let's see. Well, you know what? Now I'm running into another problem here, because I don't know. Oh boy, and you know what? I haven't been synced up this whole time. I've done that so many times in this YouTube series. There we go. Goodness gracious. How to do this? Well, you know what? Let me add one more point here. Do this number. Kind of like that. There we go. And then let's go back to this. Let's modulate with mod envelope 1. Alright, let's see. Let's go back in here. I'm going to lengthen this out quite a ways. So this kind of works, I guess. You know, I probably did not need to go through the trouble of all this anyway, but we definitely needed to do mod envelope 1 to control the gated effect on the reverb here. So basically what's happening is we're using the mod wheel to control the filter of the sound itself, in addition to how much of that original sound is being sent to the reverb. And then we have mod envelope 1, which we have set to the same like envelope rate as the amp envelope. That's controlling how much reverb mix there is. So we can have signal come from the auxiliary send to the reverb, but have the mix down. So the reverb is still getting sound put into it, but the amount of the reverb that we have mixed into the signal is controlling that effect. So if you listen real close, I'll hold the note down and pull the mod wheel up and then back, and you'll hear that reverb tail have the gated effect as the sound and the filter cutoff goes back down. So I think that's pretty cool. And if we stop holding the note down, like if we lift up on the note, it still has that reverb tail. So that being said, I definitely did not need to go in and draw all these in. With what I had in my head, I thought that I could control that sort of tapered down effect when I lift up on the note, but I'm not sure there was a good way for me to do that, because I need this, like, unless I could set a loop point in the envelope here. I wish there was a way to do that. I was going to have each of these individual like pulses here on the mod envelope. It was going to go down, right? Like it was going to taper down. But I don't know how to set, or if there is a way to set a loop point in the envelopes, which would be super cool. So if somebody out there knows how to set a loop point in the mod envelopes, then do let me know, because that would be really handy to pull off some of that stuff. So basically to draw in a release here instead of having it just be a single line, because I don't know how to do that yet. But I'm learning. We're getting there, you know. Yeah. There's that reverb. You can really hear it. That's pretty cool. And maybe we go in with one last sort of step here and maybe draw in some sort of noise, right, where we do a similar thing here. Amp will come in, rhythm-based, eighth note, spike maybe. Oops, doing it again, double time. Loop and sync. And we can put a filter on this to give it just that little bit extra grit. Ooh, and that was one of my dogs sneezing real good. And again, maybe we don't want the filter to do that, so we can pull this back. So now you don't really hear the envelope doing much. There we go. And then we could even send some of this to that reverb. We just wouldn't really hear it until we mixed it in. So let's try that out real quick. Effects, layer B. And I wonder what would happen if we did this with the mod wheel as well. I kind of like that percussive element to the whole sound, so I also would want to modulate this with wheel, and then we'll just make sure that it matches, which is I think we had the other one about here, maybe like that. And then I think I want the B layer a little bit less in the mix. And this, let's show modulation. I don't want that to be so much, so we'll do it kind of like that. A little bit less with the cutoff adjustment from the wheel, so that it doesn't overshadow the A layer. Yeah, so there we go. I'm pretty happy with that. Let me figure out what to name this. I'm always terrible at naming these. Alright, so here we have it, the Nulse morph, and that just came from the noise layer and the word pulse, and it's a morphing sound, so Nulse morph, which is probably kind of dumb, but it works for me. And I'll demo the sound one more time. And there we have it. So thanks so much, everyone, for joining me for another episode of From Scratch to Patch in Omnisphere. I'm definitely doing these whenever I can. I've been quite busy lately growing the brand, Microphonic Designs, and handling client projects and all that. But I'm still doing these. These are still on my mind, and I wanted to do another Rhythmorph sound. So be sure to hit the like button if you at any point enjoyed the video, learned something, or just dig sound design. And as always, those subscriptions also really help support the channel. And it just lets me know that everybody's really digging the content. So thanks so much, and I will see you guys next time.